wet, sloppy humor, but when you get somebody who's really smart, and he makes you think and at the same time laugh, it's like, whoa. So Elizabeth, Elizabeth here, right? So Elizabeth actually introduced me to you by virtue of some of your tapes, and so this was long before I'd met you and saw you perform, and so, you know, we were looking, I was watching this and saying, holy smokes, that's great. So, and he wears more makeup than you ever. So, back to the next question. And also we saw Elizabeth went out and bought all these, the whole series of The Riches.
Oh, it's now not happening as a television series, but I've decided to do a film.
So there is admiration based on a knowledge of your career, and I'm glad we could do this together. By the way, welcome to Cleveland. I didn't get a chance to say that.
Having played 34 cities on my tour, I think I was saying this to Dennis last night. I think I've seen more of America than your average American would do, unless you're in politics when you move around and if you're going for a presidential election or something. But it's great to have been to 34 cities. I like that. I mean, I was born in Yemen, so I'm the only Arabic kid with 2 Z's in my name. And I've been asked to go and talk in Al Jazeera as well. For the election thing.
Wow.
But I was worried whether, will I get a no-fly ticket if I do that? If I do
So just call me if you have a problem.
There's obviously a lot of moderate Arabic people out there, and they said, do you want to come on and talk? And I haven't been born in Yemen. I think, great, you know. And I went back to Yemen in January, the first time since I was a kid. And, you know, they've got a struggle in Aden, is the city where I was born. But anyway. But I'm going to follow on from that question with the question about Elizabeth, which I'm not even referring to my question. How has Elizabeth changed you?
Everywhere.
And what's...
First of all, she's brought to my life a level of awareness of the power of love that I don't know that I've ever had. It's really...
That's very good. I'm looking for hard politics here. It's not the Disney Channel.
But you need to know this story because we met where I was on the floor of the house. My office called and said, you got a meeting in your office in your building. You better get back there. And I said, look, have somebody else take it. I'm busy here talking to members of Congress about health care or something. And they said, the woman who called was Pat Becker from my office. She said, look, we made this appointment. You got to get back there. I said, okay. I didn't want an argument. I went back. I ran back to my office, sat down, bring the appointment. So there were 2 people. They were there to meet and talk to me about monetary policy. And so they come in. There's this gentleman, Steve Zarlenga, who's written a book about the history of money. And he wanted to give me his views about why America has to have a new monetary policy. And his assistant there was this stunning woman who walked, the minute she walked in, I wasn't, you know, when you're a member of Congress, you know, some members of Congress, you know, you hear stories about, but this member of Congress, I'm all business, okay? I'm just paying attention, you know, okay, meeting on monetary policy, let's talk monetary policy. Elizabeth walks through the room, and you could count to 3, and 1, 2, 3, it was over. I knew. I mean, I'd been married for quite a few years up to that point, and I knew instantly. And what I didn't know is that she also had this same feeling. I dared not bring it up in this meeting because, you know, that's what you hear in Congress is about. I just said nothing, very straight-laced, and you know, gave her a copy of my Department of Peace proposal, and that was it, out the door. And I didn't know if I'd see her again, but 2 weeks later, I was at my desk thinking about her, saying, oh my God, who is this woman? And I want to hear from her, and this happened. At the exact moment I'm thinking this, the little voice goes on, you've got mail, okay? And it was an email from Elizabeth. Well, chance meeting in New Mexico a couple weeks later, and we decided to get married.
to see is the minutes from that meeting. That is my...
They've been redacted.
So, but has she changed you in any... Has there been... how's it affect your politics then? Because you're a vegan, but you were a vegan. You pulled her into vegan.
Yes, I did.
So how long have you been a vegan?
Since '95.
Wow.
I met somebody who was a vegan, and I just tried it, and here's what I found out. See, when I was a child, I had Crohn's disease, very bad. And when I was 20 years old, it almost killed me. And I just a chance change in a diet where I eliminated, some of you, when you hear this, you're going to think, what do you eat? But, no dairy, no meat, no fish, no chicken, basically a grain-based diet, and vegetables. But what I found when I changed my diet, the symptoms that I had started to recede, that I had been stuck with my whole life. Then I did another bit of experimenting with Chinese herbal medicine, and it disappeared. I mean, literally, I had Crohn's, debilitating and very bad, and it just disappeared.
It even sounds even more complicated. What is Crohn's? Cool. I'm going to look at my watch occasionally just to check that. I'm going to do another dive into the bag here. Okay. Is the riches coming back? Bill, we're gonna raise money on the internet, so. Dennis, were you pro-Goma spaceship?
No problem.
Okay, Eddie, you saw executive training. Okay, I'm gonna. Yes, I am, and that you saw. It's interesting because you saw unidentified.
Okay, let's set the scene. Okay, I'm in a presidential debate. Okay, the economy is falling apart. We're in a war we shouldn't have been in. Okay, and you think they want to ask about that? No, they want to ask about a story that I may have seen, an unidentified flying object. Do I know what it was? No, it was unidentified. I also pointed out that, Carter and Reagan both supposedly saw unidentified flying objects, which then it occurred to me that may be a prerequisite for being president. I don't know what this particular person that is on his way out has seen, but I will say that what happened when I said that, it suddenly became, uh-oh, here's the Looney Tunes parade. And really, it was used to try to just knock me out by saying, well, this guy's obviously from another planet, right? The vegan planet. And it's really easy to try to dismiss someone and not even get a chance to hear what they have to say on a range of other things. And that's, frankly, what Russell and company was trying to do then. I understood that, but I tried to make light of it. But it's interesting. You have 40 million Americans, supposedly, the story goes, supposedly have seen something out there in the sky they can't identify. Look, it's like it's your business. but I saw something, and I never reported it. It was just a friend of mine wrote something and recounted a story that I told her. And one thing I wasn't going to do wasn't going to say that my friend, lied or anything. I just told the truth. I saw something, big deal. But I'm really, as I said, when I was asked later about it, I said, well, in Washington, the truth is an unidentified flying object.
I have worked out, things like being a stand-up and talk about anything and everything, that seeing as there's there's more stars out there than there are grains of sand on the earth. This is, and I've heard that, and I've heard people say discount that, but I've gone through the internet, and it looks like, some people say it's 10 times more stars out there than there are grains of sand, and all the beaches and all the deserts and the whole of the earth. So, there's two things. There's no one out there, just us, which is scary. Or there are people out there as well as us, which is scary. Those are the two options. There's no others.